Hi, while I'm recording this, it's now just over a week since Prince passed away, and like most of you, spent the last week reading all the tributes and the news and basically just trying to come to terms with what a great artist that we've lost. By the way, there's a couple of fantastic tributes up on YouTube at the moment. Mr. Greg White and Night Child did a really moving and heartfelt video yesterday, and if you're kindly watching this one, please make sure you watch those after this as well, because they're really good as well, so please do that. So here we are in a world without Prince. Isn't that weird? And what I've been reading from a lot of people on social media is a lot of them were saying that it really felt like a death in the family and really hit them hard, and a lot of people were kind of struggling to understand why they were feeling that way when it was someone they didn't even know. I can imagine, people on the outside would be thinking, why are you so upset? It's just a pop star, you didn't know him, Even on the day he died, I put on Facebook, on my Facebook page, that music was now dead to me, and someone said, get a grip. And it did make me think, and why I was so affected and so upset by his death. And then I thought to myself, no, I didn't know him personally, but in a kind of way I did, through his music. Prince himself has said in interviews that his music was the soundtrack to his psyche. So he'd been sharing his whole life with us, his entire career, from the very beginning. And I think now he's gone, you're going to be finding many of his songs are going to have extra meaning, and they're going to be very poignant. Some of them will be spooky. People will be finding things in his lyrics for years to come now. And very, very, very sad. So so that was that. So that is what I was thinking. That is why, he's always been there. His music becomes a soundtrack to your life. Many events in my life have got Prince as a soundtrack to it. Many major important events in my life: getting engaged, getting married, first dance, Prince, and so you do feel that you kind of knew him. And so it did feel exactly like that. I've been unfortunate enough to lose people in my life, and it did feel the same. So anyone who's doubting why they're feeling that way, or thinking that they shouldn't, or whatever, it is normal, and we did kind of know him. So that's that. And what I meant when I said on Facebook that music was now dead to me was that Prince has made so much music. I mean, he's probably written and recorded more music than anyone in history. If you include all the stuff in the vault as well, 20,000 supposedly some odd tracks, it's phenomenal. And there's a song for everything. He's covered every genre almost that there is, and crossed them all together. If you want a rock track, Prince has done it. If you want romance, he's done that. If you want a sexy song, Prince has done that. Funk, R&B, Prince has done that. Bit of reggae, he's done that too. Jazz, techno, rave, everything you can imagine, there's a Prince track for it. And it's not that I don't like other music or other artists or anything, but if you just end up, you put his stuff on your iPod. I do this a lot. I go on iTunes and I go through my CD collector. I'm going to listen to that this week. I must listen to that this week. And you put it on, and you're listening, and you go, I could be listening to Prince. You just swip over, and you can't help it. And that's all you want to listen to. It's just ridiculous. On the day he died, I've got a friend of mine who I introduced to his music when he was a teenager, messaged me and said, basically thanking me, saying, thank you for introducing me to the music that changed my life. That's Prince. And as I say, there's a song for everything, and you just end up listening to it all the time, and the range of stuff that he's done is incredible, and the producing, the writing, everything he was so unique, so different. I think that's the trouble now. There's so many singers out there now, so many artists and pop stars created by these virtual reality programs as well, and all the rest of it, and they're all the same. Everything's the same. The likes of Michael Jackson and Prince and people like that took it to the next level from the people who came before them. And the people, your Elvises, your Little Richards, James Browns, all those kind of people, and they just went to the next level. And I don't think there's anywhere else to go after that. No one can. All you can do is copy, and that is why it's so original. And it's so sad that now Prince has gone. There's nothing, and that's what I meant. There's hardly anybody now I buy music from, you know, unless it's a Prince album. Very rarely do I buy a CD from anybody. I don't know. Am I too narrow-minded? I don't know, but I do like lots of other music. But you know, that's what it is, and it's just such a shame. And so many memories and things I want to talk about Prince and what he means to me personally. I first got into Prince literally just around my 15th birthday, and it was 1989, and it was the Batman film was out, and I was really, really into that film, and I bought t-shirts and posters and everything to do with that film, and of course the soundtrack album, and the soundtrack album was Prince. Wow, amazing, and that's where it all started. And of course by then he'd been going for almost 10 years, and there was a huge back catalogue already to go through. It was amazing. And I started slowly buying all the albums back then on cassette, listening to them on my Walkman, and I couldn't believe the stuff that he did. I couldn't believe what he got away with. When I got Dirty Mind album, oh my god, I just got Sister and Head and things like that. I just got, as a teenager as well, you just laughing your head off. You just like, I can't believe this guy is singing about these things, and he got away with it. You know, it was fantastic. And one of the things that I really liked about it as well is that Prince could get girls, and he sang about getting girls, and that was a big draw for me. I remember as a teenager, oh dear, that's all I wanted to be, was like Prince. That was my inspiration, that was my education, and getting girls. That's why I want to be like Prince. All the songs like Scandalous and International Lover and Do Me Baby and things like that. Oh boy, I had a mixtape of all of them on for if I ever got lucky enough to bring a girl home. They'd be running scared. Oh god, what's this man going to do to me? Yeah, I don't know. You must excuse my voice as well. Unfortunately, I've had a bit of a throat infection the last 2 days, so I've been losing my voice. But I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible. I just didn't want to wait any longer. I wanted to get my feelings out there about this wonderful man and what he meant to me. And yeah, there's many memories like that. Like the first tour, the first concert I ever saw was the Diamonds and Pearls show at Earls Court. I think it was 18th or 19th of June, 92. And obviously was really pumped and excited about that. And I remember when we went in and you walk around the perimeter of Earls Court, there was this massive gong kept coming and kept going gong, and then this woman's voice, it was just booming, and I was like, and having never been to a concert before, never experienced that, it was really made the hair stand out. It's making it do now, hairs fly out the back of your neck, and it was almost otherworldly. I don't know how to describe it really. It was really, really eerie in a way, but it was, so you're walking around and you keep this bong, and then this woman talking. Later on it turns out it was this videos were playing on the screen, and it was advertising the new album, the Symbol album that was coming out. So the gong was every time the cymbal flew up to the screen, it went bong, and then this woman was talking about the new album and introducing Carmen Electra and I think Maite as well. And later on, parts of that video clip made it onto the videotape for the Diamonds and Pearls video collection. I remember at the concert there was also a little dig at Michael Jackson on there about to whom it may concern, it's time you came to your senses, there are no kings on this earth, only princes. Those were the days. And then I remember getting to the merchandise store bit and looking at the t-shirts, and there's this t-shirt that says Sexy MF, and this is the days before social media and YouTube and all of that. There really was no way to find out what people were doing unless it was in the paper or you were a member of a fan club. Me and my cousin who I went with was looking at each other, sexy mother? No. And we were laughing, thinking, okay, and then we forgot about it. And then some point during the evening, I can't remember if it was before the concert or there's an interval kind of bit, the video came up on the screen, Sexy MF, and it was Sexy Mother. You could not believe. Oh, I was laughing, fantastic, and I love that song so much. And I was lucky enough to, Joe Bloggs did a range of clothes, Sexy MF stuff, and I managed to get one. It was a white top with Prince's original symbol before he put the bit through the middle, and it had Sexy MF written through it, and the silver symbol. I wore that to death. It's now packed away in the loft. with all my tour t-shirts. I was amazing. And then the tour itself, fantastic. If they ever do pillage the vault, I mean, one thing I would be interested in is a collection of tour DVDs from all the shows, you know, proper official releases, cleaned up, looking really good. That would be something special, I think, you know, from Purple Rain, Sign of the Times, Love Sexy, you know, we've all got these old VHS copies. Diamonds and Pearls tour, the Gold Experience tour, the 21 Nights in London, take your pick, you know. And as I say, because the Earl's Court one was just fantastic, and he came out of the stage in a capsule, and then the cymbal came down, the lighting rig, and it was moving around like a spaceship. It was massive, and the stage had 2 levels, and then there was a bed at one point was floating across the stage. It was just mesmerising. It was amazing, and just first time I saw him live, and I'd already been into him for a few years, but that was just unbelievably mind blowing. All the little quirks of things of Prince, eccentricities that people don't have, the things that made him so unique, you know, from the fashion, from the hairstyles, the clothes, the heels, the motorcycles, the cymbal, to the little, you know, where you go, you know, and when he'd be really doing something good on the guitar, sometimes he used to do that little, and do that with his hair, and do a cheeky smile like, yeah, I know I'm good. It was brilliant. And the splits and all the little things, Paisley Park itself, all the things just, you know, made him so unique. Little things like that separate him from everybody else, you know. It was so good, so good. And talking about Gold Experience tour, again, I went to 2 of those shows, and that was a lovely period. It's fantastic, because at the time, you know, Prince had changed his name and stepped away from everything, and he stripped the MPG down just to, you know, I think it was Michael B, Sonny T, Maite was dancing, Mr Hayes, sometimes Tommy Barbarella, and they were amazing. I mean, I still think that's the best band. I know people like the Revolution have got a special place in the heart, but musically and how tight they were, and, you know, Michael B on the drums, boy. When the Beautiful Experience was on Channel 4, and videoed that and watched that, and I'd had the Tevin Campbell album, and that had Shush on it, and suddenly Prince is doing Shush, and I'm going, what? Wow, what a version. And thank God that turned up on the album, the Gold Experience album, with Michael B's amazing drums, and it was just fantastic. And at that time, it was like you'd found this new band that no one knew about, because people had stopped paying attention because of all the name change and the squabbling. And a lot of people were unhappy at the Gold Experience tour. Again, I remember going with my cousin, and he was upset because Prince didn't play any songs that he knew. I think the only song that he played that everyone knew was Seven. It was all new material from the Gold Experience, but I'd already watched the Beautiful Experience, so I knew most of it, and I was loving it. I was happy. But a lot of people, including my cousin, was like, well, I'm not going again if that's what he's going to do. They were really upset. And I can remember, actually, the next time he came over in '98, and he did a show at Wembley Arena, and we went, and it wasn't even sold out. And how shocking is that? And there were touts everywhere trying to get rid of tickets, and he was like, what? And I remember when he came out, it was almost like the end of Purple Rain, you know, when he walks out and he's got to justify himself. Everyone's silent, looking at him, and what's he going to do? And it was like that. It really was. And I think he started with Push It Up or something, and then people were like, you know, and then straight into one of the old ones of Controversy, I think it was, and everyone, oh, he's going to play the songs, and then it ended up being a mind-blowing concert, it always is. But so back to the Gold Experience, as I say, it was just great, and going around liking this thing that you knew nobody else was really into, was like, yeah, I'm cool, I know what's going on, you know. And at that time we had the shop in Camden. So I loved that place. I was there all the time. Sometimes, because I used to work in London, I used to get sent to work at Chalk Farm, and it was stone's throw away. I would spend 2-hour lunches in that shop talking to the staff, talking to the manageress, and she told me stories about Prince, and I used to pick up lots of merchandise, trying all the toy jackets and all the rest of it, and I was always there. They must have hated me. Here he comes again. Oh dear. I love that place, and I think now it's a shame it's not there, because now Prince has died. How cool would it be if there was a place like that now where everyone could go to? I know we kind of do it virtually now, social media, on Twitter and everything, but how good would it be if that was there and we could all go? You could just turn up any day now, go and have a coffee, whatever, and you're going to meet other people and like-minded people, and just talk about Prince and our memories. You know, I think that'd be so cool if there was something like that still. I was really sad when that shop shut down. But yeah, so that was that, and yeah, so many memories. This great artist, this genius. I hate using that term, genius and legend. They're so overused these days, but he really was. He really was just up there. It took me a few days before I could play any of his music, and in the end, I sat there. Sundays were my day for doing a Prince playlist for the week ahead. And last Sunday, my wife said to me, "Aren't you going on the computer then? Aren't you doing?" And I was like, "No." And then I sat there and I thought, no, I should. No, what am I doing? And I got on there and I ended up making a 200 song playlist, which I've been just letting it play through all week. So commuting to work and back, you know. And some of them, I think Nightchild was mentioning yesterday, way back home. Boy, affirmation as well, talking about in your former life and things like that, amazing. And they really have extra meaning now. A lot of that stuff does. Yeah, amazing. And the other thing about Prince as well that was so cool was that, especially with his fans, he was so laid back and relaxed around it. I mean, like at Minneapolis, you know, he was out on his bike riding around and just go places, and he wasn't getting mobbed. He wasn't living like Michael Jackson had to live, like, you know, in his shell, hiding away from everybody. I mean, who knows whether he needed to live that way, but people would generally let him get on, and he was just cool like that. And I remember at the O2 Arena when he did those 21 Nights of London, and I went to one of the after show parties, and it turned out to be one of the famous ones. It was just Prince, the bass and the drums player, and it was unbelievable. And one of my great memories of that is that he did Empty Room. Oh boy. And I'm lucky enough to have the CD of that, a really good copy too. Yeah, and we were all grooving and dancing away before it started. Then Prince came out, and I remember the curtain came up, and he had his back to the audience for about 15 minutes, playing the guitar with his back to everybody and the band, and it was like, amazing. And anyway, when he came forward and he started playing, and the weird thing was, we had a really great view. The Indigo's not massive, but we could have been closer. If I wanted to, I could have fought through and been right at his feet. But we didn't feel we needed to. And that was the weirdest thing. We were like, no, we're cool. I can see Prince, he's just there. And it wasn't that we were just taking him for granted, like, oh, we always see Prince, we've seen him loads of times, going to see him again next year or whenever. It wasn't like that. It was just, we were just cool in his presence, and there he is. And it was just like, yeah, we're funking, and there he is, you know. It was just, I can't explain it. That we remember when we came out and we were talking to ourselves, I was, my wife and my brother were with me, and we were saying, no, why didn't we go right up to the front? We just didn't feel we needed to. We're just like, yeah, we're happy, this is great. It was really strange. And yeah, another memory from that is afterwards we found out my wife was expecting, and she must have fallen pregnant during that run of shows that were going on. So we had to honour him. One of my son's middle names was Prince. So, call me an obsessive fan, whatever. But we just thought it was a nice tribute, seeing as that's when it was. He was grooving in the belly. He was well schooled from a young age. Yeah, fantastic. So yeah, so just so many memories. I even, and how Prince was so how can you say, you know, appeal to everybody. A lot of people. One of those O2 shows, I took my mum. I actually took my mum, and she loved it. She loved Prince, and some great memories of her when I was at home. When I lived at home, and some of the songs would come on, and she'd be going, "What did he say?" It was like, "Do Me Baby," or "Sexy MF," or "Pussy Control." Oh dear. Oh, I'm sorry, Mum. And she used to go, "What did he say? What did he do?" It was so embarrassing. I can't believe I played them. She'd come home from work and I'd be listening to another dodgy one. Yeah. Oh dear. But yeah, so funny. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, some of my memories of Prince and what he meant to me. As I say, he's really helped. He shaped me as a person. I think in a lot of ways, his music inspired me. As I say, he made me want to be the way I am. you could just tell a lot of inspiration from the way he lived his life. He wanted to do things the way he wanted to do them, and you've got to respect that. You may not have always agreed with what he did, or may not have thought, oh, I don't know, whatever, but, you know, it was his life, and he wanted to do what he wanted to do, and you respect that, and that's a big thing with me, is respect, and that is where it came. You know, you start off obviously when you like someone as a teenager, a bit fanboyish, I suppose, and a bit, you know, it's like choosing your football team, isn't it? You know, you defend them to the hilt, and you're mad about them with a passion. But then it does say, as you grow older, it does turn into a deep respect for a person, especially someone like Prince, who was, you know, just a master of everything that he did. And there never will be anybody like him again. You know, one of a kind, and he's now where he wants to be. I presume he's moved on to that place that he's talked about, finding his way back home. Thank you for watching.